In today's video, we will do a full comparison between the Google Pixel 3 XL versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 to see which one of these smartphones has superior capacity and which one you should consider buying over the other. The Note was released in August 2018 while the Pixel 3 XL in October 2018. They're both top flagships from Samsung and Google respectively, so naturally people want to know which one is the better smartphone. And of course in this video that's exactly what I'm going to tell you, which one is better by doing a full side-by-side comparison between these two smartphones. So let's dive in and get started with the build and design. High quality build and design is absolutely essential on a flagship smartphone. Now in terms of build, both the Note 9 and the Pixel are built with high quality glass and aluminum. The glass used on both smartphones is Gorilla Glass 5. So far, so good. However, when it comes to design, the Note 9 takes a solid lead. The Note 9 offers a large and tall display that is encased in a symmetrical design. It has the right proportions and curves all over. While the Pixel 3 not only brings one of the largest notches to a smartphone display, but also has a thick bottom bezel that makes the entire frontal presentation lacking in style and grace. Now I am going to say that design is a subjective element, but I doubt anyone would pick the Pixel 3 over the Note 9 in terms of frontal design. Pixel 3 is a flagship product with flagship pricing, and it should have been a better looking product. Nobody's going to buy a Ferrari with a big scratch on it. Now both of these phones come with IP68 grade water resistance, which guarantees protection against dust and water. Even if you were to take these smartphones into a pool, you won't get any water damage for up to 30 minutes and 1.5 meters deep. Both smartphones also offer dual stereo speakers that sound loud and rich, although the Note 9 certainly has a slight lead in sound quality due to its built-in Dolby Atmos sound option. The Pixel 3 actually sounds a little bit louder. Note 9 also offers a 3.5mm headphone jack, while the Pixel does not. In this category, the Note 9 simply has an edge. It is a better looking product and has a 3.5mm headphone jack. Now let's move on and talk about the processor, the internals, and also the software of these smartphones. So the Pixel 3 has a Snapdragon 845 processor, 4GB of RAM, and 64GB of base storage at a starting price of $899. The Note 9 also sports the Snapdragon 845 processor, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of base storage at a starting price of $1,000. You can also get a 128GB Pixel for $1,000 or a 512GB Note 9 for $1,250 with 8GB of RAM. Now the Note 9 also offers a micro SD expansion slot that allows you to add additional storage up to 512GB. Pixel does not offer micro SD expansion slot. Overall performance on both of these smartphones is lag-free. Apps and games will run equally well, although the Pixel 3 does offer a slightly smoother overall operation because it is bare bones Android 9.0. Note 9 is not bare bones, but it does include tons of deep and rich software functionality. Therefore, the extra RAM on the Note 9 plays a big role in equalizing the overall performance of this smartphone. So in this category, the lead goes to the Note 9 as well. It has microSD expansion as well as higher base storage capacity of 128GB. It is surely priced higher, but that $100 extra price tag on the Note 9 isn't just there to get you extra storage, but also offers things like the S Pen, which is a tool designed to offer precision writing and sketching on your Note 9. If you have the skill and time, you can actually draw a masterpiece using the S Pen. S Pen also offers additional software functions for increased productivity via the Air Command menu. Now let's move on to the dimensions. So the Note 9 measures 161.9mm in height, 76.4mm wide, and 8.8mm thick. It weighs 201 grams. The Pixel 3 measures 158mm in height, 76.7mm wide, and 7.9mm thick. It weighs 184 grams. Now, as you can see, approximately it's all the same. The Note 9 is in fact a little bit more heavier, but it's not a striking difference. Let's move on and talk about the actual display. So the Note 9 comes with a massive 6.4-inch display with a resolution of 1440 by 2960 and 516 pixels per inches. The Pixel 3 also has a massive 6.3-inch display with a resolution of 1440 by 2960 and 523 pixels per inches. Both phones do offer gorgeous displays that are sharp, crisp, bright, and clear, but the Super AMOLED display on the Note 9 definitely is the better display with better peak brightness, clarity, and fidelity. Now the funny thing is the Note 9 is set to 50% brightness in this segment, while the Pixel 3 is set to 60% brightness, and as you can see the Note 9 is still much brighter while playing this nature video. Also, watching the videos in full screen mode certainly brings out that large notch on the Pixel that bites into the side of your video watching experience, making it less immersive. There is no question that watching videos, movies, TV shows, or anime will look much better on the Note 9. The lead in this category goes to the Note 9 as well. Now in the camera department, things get a little bit complicated. First, let's take a look at the specs. The Note 9 has a dual camera system, a primary 12 megapixel camera with a dual aperture of f1.5 and f2.4. It then has a secondary 12 megapixel telephoto camera with an aperture of f2.4. Both cameras are optically stabilized. The Pixel 3 has a single 12.2 megapixel primary camera with an aperture of f1.8. This camera also is optically stabilized. When it comes to purely taking photos with the primary cameras, the Pixel 3 has a slight edge. It does take overall better photos. However, only by a slight margin, and nothing an average consumer would even notice. On the other hand, Pixel 3 cannot record 4K video at 60 frames per second. It can record 4K at 30 frames per second, but the Note 9 can record 4K at both 30 and 60 frames per second. Additionally, the Note 9 can also record super slow motion videos up to 950 frames per second, whereas the Pixel 3 maxes out at 240 frames per second. Note 9 also has a secondary camera that allows 2 times optical zoom, which produces more clear zoomed in photos compared to the Pixel 3's software enhanced zooming tactics. Now on the front side, Pixel 3 does have 2 8 megapixel front facing cameras. One of them is a standard angle camera, while the other one is a wide angle camera designed to fit more people into a single selfie shot. And of course, the Note 9 only has a single 8 megapixel front-facing camera. Both front cameras get the job done of taking useless selfies and video conferencing, but the primary attraction on any smartphone is the primary cameras. So overall, in the camera department, you have 2 world-class cameras that are at the top of their game. The Pixel 3 takes slightly better photos using its primary rear camera, while the Note 9 offers a few more functions such as super slow motion video and 4K at 60 frames per second. At the end of the day, an average consumer won't see any huge difference between the 2 cameras. They will both serve you very well. I am going to consider this category a draw. Now let's talk about the battery. The Note 9 has a 4000 mAh battery, while the Pixel 3 has a 3430 mAh battery. In my tests, the Note 9 was able to give you approximately 1 hour of extra battery life per full charge. Either way, both phones do last a full day with a healthy mixture of medium use, but the Note 9 will certainly have some carryover juice left even for the next day. And of course, both smartphones offer wireless charging and also fast wired charging, which is fantastic. Now in this category, the Note 9 takes a slight lead due to its extra battery life. Now let's move on to the biometrics and security. So the Note 9 has 3 ways to unlock your smartphone. You get 2 super secure options, which is the rear fingerprint sensor and the iris scanner, as well as a less secure option, the face unlock option. In comparison, the Pixel 3 offers just one single way to unlock your smartphone with biometrics, known as the Pixel Imprint, which is a fingerprint sensor on the rear as well. Both fingerprint sensors work quickly and flawlessly, so that's great, but the bottom line is the Note 9 still gives you more options to unlock your smartphone, so again, it takes a lead in this category as well. So let's tie everything together and move on to our conclusion. Alright, so let's do the conclusion by listing what the Note 9 has over the Pixel 3, and these are just facts. The Note 9 has the S Pen, has expandable storage which allows you to add 512 gigabytes of extra storage on demand, has a 3.5mm headphone jack, has a fingerprint scanner like the Pixel but has an iris scanner on top of it. It also has a larger battery, offers the Samsung DeX functionality that can transform the smartphone into a full-fledged PC. And of course, it has a nearly all-screen notchless design that simply means better experience while watching videos in full screen. This notchless display also translates into a better overall design from the front end. On the flip side, the Pixel 2 only offers two advantages. The pure Android experience that also gets the latest Android updates sooner than any other smartphone. And of course, it does have a better primary camera for taking photos, but we do have to mention that it's only marginally better. So it is clear that the Note 9 is simply packed with much more tech than the Pixel 3, hence making it a clear winner in a side-by-side comparison. Now, the pricing on the Pixel also makes it less justified when you look at all the differences between the two smartphones. The Pixel starts at $900 with 64 gigabytes, while the Note 9 is only $100 more for 128 gigabytes, and of course you get all the extras mentioned above. So in just about every metric, the Note 9 is the leader. And that's the phone I will recommend buying over the Pixel 3. And then